The world of entertainment is currently witnessing one of the most significant legal battles in modern history. Sean Diddy Combs, the once untouchable music mogul and business tycoon, is now in the fight of his life. Recently, Diddy and his high-powered legal team have made a massive move by demanding his immediate release from prison. They are officially filing to vacate his 50-month sentence. A sentence that came after a high-profile conviction involving federal charges of transportation for purposes of prostitution. To give you the context of how we got here, Diddy was officially convicted on July 2nd, 2025. This was a day that sent shockwaves through the industry. Later, on October 3rd, 2025, the disgraced mogul was sentenced to 4 years and 2 months behind bars, along with the prison time. The judge hit him with a staggering $500,000 fine and mandated 5 years of supervised release once his time is served. Since his initial arrest on September 16, 2024, Diddy's team has been relentless, attempting every legal maneuver in the book to get him out of custody and clear his name. But this latest attempt is their most aggressive yet, and it targets the very foundation of the prosecution's case. Now, let's break down exactly what Diddy's lawyers are arguing in this new filing. They are trying to tackle the 50-month sentence head on. Their latest strategy to free the diddler rests on the argument that his actions were not actually a violation of federal law. Specifically, they are challenging the application of the Mann Act. For those who don't know, the Mann Act is a federal law that prohibits the transportation of individuals across state lines for the purpose of engaging in illegal sexual activities. However, Diddy's defense team is spinning a very different narrative. They are claiming that the events documented what many have called freak-offs were nothing more than private, consensual kinky parties. Their boldest claim that these activities should be protected under the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. They are essentially arguing that what happens behind closed doors between consenting adults, even if recorded, falls under the category of personal expression and privacy. This is a massive gamble, as they are trying to turn a criminal case into a constitutional debate about freedom and expression. The legal battle doesn't stop at the nature of the acts. Diddy's team is also attacking the length of the sentence itself. They argue that a 50-month term is far outside the typical sentencing guidelines for these types of charges. According to their research and legal precedents, they claim a typical sentence for such a conviction is usually around 15 months. They are pointing out that Diddy has already served a significant amount of time, 19 months in total, when you combine his pretrial custody and the time served after sentencing. By their logic, Diddy has already overserved his time and should be released immediately. Furthermore, they are accusing the sentencing judge of being biased. They claim the judge unfairly considered evidence from more serious charges that Diddy was actually acquitted of, including racketeering, conspiracy, and trafficking. They argue that the judge let the noise of the acquitted charges influence the punishment for the conviction, which they say is a fundamental legal error. One of the most sensitive parts of this appeal involves the evidence of force or coercion. Diddy's lawyers are making a very controversial move by arguing that certain evidence, including the infamous and harrowing video involving Cassie, should have been completely off-limits during the sentencing phase. They believe that because the sentencing was specifically for the transportation charges, the judge had no right to let the graphic nature of other allegations weigh into the decision. This attempt to separate the act from the atmosphere of coercion is a key part of their plan to reduce his time, but it has faced massive backlash from the public and the prosecution. who call these claims completely meritless, while Diddy fights the government in court. He has opened a second front in his war, a battle against the streaming giant Netflix. Diddy recently filed a massive $1 billion lawsuit against the platform, claiming that their documentary on his life and downfall was defamatory. Diddy's team alleges that Netflix fabricated narratives, failed to fact-check witnesses, and intentionally damaged his multi-decade legacy just for binge-worthy entertainment. But if Diddy thought a $1 billion threat would make Netflix back down, he was dead wrong. In the streaming era, Netflix is a titan built for high-stakes legal warfare. Instead of settling, Netflix flipped the table. They essentially told Diddy, "We aren't worried." Their response was swift and brutal. They countered by stating that every single thing aired in the documentary was sourced from existing public records, interviews, and documents that predated the documentary by years. They aren't just defending their show, they are doubling down on its accuracy. This is where it gets dangerous for Diddy. Sources close to the production suggest that Netflix is sitting on a mountain of unused material. We're talking about extended interviews, internal conversations, and footage that was too intense or legally complex to include in the initial release. Netflix is essentially daring Diddy to keep the lawsuit going, because if it goes to trial, Netflix has the right to release all that extra evidence to defend their stance. It's like Diddy swung at a giant, and the giant responded by saying, "Go ahead, keep swinging. So I have a reason to show the world the rest of what I found." Netflix is leveraging this lawsuit to increase their own credibility, turning Diddy's legal attack into free promotion for the documentary. It's a masterclass in corporate chess, while Diddy appears to be playing a very desperate game of Connect Four. The ripples of this battle are moving through Hollywood executives, other streaming platforms like Hulu and Amazon, and major production houses are watching this closely. Why? Because Diddy isn't just suing a company. He's challenging the right of media platforms to document the downfall of public figures. If Netflix stands firm and wins, it sends a message to the entire industry that Diddy no longer has the power to intimidate anyone. It breaks the myth of the untouchable mogul. Right now, the industry is betting on Netflix. They see a fallen giant who is making a massive PR misstep. In the eyes of the public, innocent people don't usually declare war on documentaries that use real evidence. They usually try to silence them only when the truth is uncomfortable. We cannot talk about Diddy's downfall without mentioning his biggest rival, 50 Cent. While Diddy is stuck in a cell, 50 Cent is reportedly signing a massive $75 million deal for a documentary series of his own. 50 Cent has been Diddy's loudest critic for years, and now he has the platform and the budget to dig even deeper. Between Netflix's legal might and 50 Cent's relentless trolling and investigative content, Diddy's empire isn't just crumbling, it's being dismantled brick by brick. Legal experts are almost unanimous in their assessment. Diddy's lawsuit against Netflix is incredibly weak. To win a defamation case as a public figure, Diddy has to prove actual malice. He has to prove that Netflix knew the information was false and published it anyway with the intent to harm him. Netflix, on the other hand, only has to show that they relied on existing reports, court documents, and witness testimonies, given that Diddy himself recorded much of the strange behavior, and that the allegations have been in the public domain for a long time. Netflix has an airtight defense. Truth is the ultimate defense in a defamation case, and Netflix seems to have the receipts to back up every claim they made. In the age of social media, The court of public opinion is often more powerful than the actual court. Every time Diddy's team files a new motion or lawsuit, the comments sections on TikTok, X, and YouTube explode with criticism. The strife and effect is in full force hereby trying to hide or silence the narrative. Diddy has only made the world more curious to see every single detail of his alleged crimes. People are pointing out the irony. Diddy didn't sue his direct accusers or the bloggers who first broke the stories. Instead, he went after the platform that packaged it all together. To the average viewer, this looks like a robbed bank suing the news for reporting the robbery. It's a desperate attempt at reputation CPR on a patient that is no longer breathing us. We look forward, the stakes couldn't be higher. If the judge denies Diddy's request for release and the Netflix lawsuit fails, Diddy loses more than just money. He loses the last bit of control he had over his own story. A Netflix victory would open the floodgates for every other platform, Max, Tubi, even independent YouTubers to release their own deep dives without fear of legal retaliation. The legend of Puff Daddy is being replaced by the reality of Sean Combs, the defendant. Is there any way back for him? Or was this lawsuit the final nail in the coffin of his legacy? What do you guys think? Will the judge actually listen to Diddy's legal team and let him out early based on the time served argument? Or is the mountain of evidence simply too high to climb? And what about the Netflix battle? Is Diddy making a genius move or a historic mistake? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this breakdown helpful. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on this unfolding drama. Share this video with anyone who is following this case.